Thank you for tuning into our chat today. If you're new here, we're just young people in Swansea, keeping it real about the impact that COVID has had on us.
So far, we've spoken about mental health, coping mechanisms, and we've also had a Women's Day special. Be sure to check them out if you haven't already, and don't forget to give us feedback by DMing us on our Instagram at Yen Wales.
Yeah, guys, that's so true. We're excited that you guys are listening, but how are we all doing?
Good. Pretty great.
Great.
Good? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm okay. And did we do something special for Mother's Day?
Well, wasn't able to go home for Mother's Day, so
Yeah.
I sent a card and that's about it.
Neither. But I personalized the card. I put like pictures of my mom and me on the card.
Oh, that's so
And
cute.
and she was really happy. So.
Oh, you guys are sweet. I didn't do anything for my mom. Yeah. So.
Why not?
Well, because it's not Mother's Day in Zimbabwe, so like.
Yeah, but you're here.
Yeah.
But I want to recognize her on her day, and also like I'm broke. My mom has expensive taste, bruh. Like I want to do it properly when the time comes, not when it's not her Mother's Day there, if you know what I mean.
Literally. That's why I only got her card. I didn't want to get her anything that she wouldn't like. So I was like, let me just wait till I see her and then do something with her instead of getting her something.
You know what you should do? You should have a spa day with your mom.
Yeah. No, I need to do that. Because apparently in Swansea, there's like this really nice spa.
Well, I haven't seen any, but.
Apparently. Like it's all in Wales. I think it's like between Cardiff and Swansea. And it's like up on some.
Between Cardiff and Swansea.
I think.
I've heard about that though.
Yeah.
It's like a five-star spa
star,
or something like that.
Spa.
My flatmate went to that, Harry.
Guys, I think it'll be really cool if we checked out the spa anyway. It'd be cool for us to check it out. But yeah, this week, we're talking about entrepreneurship and employment. As we briefly stated before, individuals who worked in non-essential industries, namely retail and hospitality, have been the most affected by the pandemic.
According to data that was published by Sky, an update on the 24th of February, over 158,000 jobs were lost due to COVID.
Wait, are you serious? Over 100K?
That is literally the population of St. Lucia, our whole country.
One of the biggest industries that was hit was retail, with over 40,000 jobs being lost. Then it was aviation with 37,000 jobs being lost, and hospitality with 34,524 jobs being lost.
You know what, it's actually so easy for stats to just be that, like numbers, but you forget that those are families. Like one person could literally be supporting a family of like 4, and that just makes it a little bit more real. And I genuinely did not think that the numbers were that high. That's why I'm just a bit shook. Are you shook as well, Sonia?
No, I'm really I'm quite shocked. Like I didn't know it got to that.
I know. Mad.
With the unemployment on the rise, it's a response that people have had. With the unemployment on the rise, it's a response that people have had to this for me. Even before lockdown, there has been a push for side hustles and for having more than one stream of income.
Even though so many people have lost their jobs, most have been able to keep afloat because of side hustles. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce our guests, Alex and Halima. Welcome to the 4-1 podcast.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, I thought I was still on mute then, but I'm not. I'm in. How are we? It's nice to be here. It's really nice to be here. Thank you for asking. Well, that's all, I guess.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for joining us in our Zoom lounge. This is what we're going to call it, our Zoom lounge. That's what it is.
Zoom lounge. Brilliant.
Our Zoom lounge, lol, yeah. So yeah, obviously we're talking about employment and entrepreneurship, and both of you have had your fingers or have your fingers in both pots. So can you tell us a little bit about like your stories, like where you guys are at and what you guys are doing?
Well, I suppose I'll take it first. As our pre-arranged agreement dictates. So basically all I've been doing really, well, for the last 3 years, I've been working in a family business, painting, decorating and things like that. But a year ago or so, I started teaching piano as well. And I found that quite a lot more interesting than I found painting, I'll be honest. But, you know, for the sake of income and things, I had to give it up. So, which it was a bit of a pain, but, you know, it had to be done. That's my story.
Nice. Well, for me, I work for Virgin Atlantic, so as you can imagine, it's really busy working for them. They did there was 2 stages of redundancies that happened in 2020. Luckily, I survived both of them. So I'm still working. During when lockdown first came about, it was really obviously my job role wasn't secure. I didn't know whether I'd still be working, so I decided to start a trade that I was kind of like doing as a hobby before 2020. So I thought, let me bring that back in just to generate more income in case I do lose my job. So that's been quite interesting, balancing a full-time job and now like a part-time doing eyelash extensions. Yeah, so just those 2 are my incomes.
Okay, wow. Both of you are in completely different industries. Halima, you're in travel, and Alex, you're in construction. What are the changes you've seen in traffic for your services since March 2020?
To be honest, not a lot. Do you want to go first, Halima, or?
No, go on, you go.
Go on, I'll let you go first. Ladies, no, please, after
Oh
you,
my
after
God,
you.
like with the airline industry, it's just been crazy. Like the amount of flight cancellations, people calling in, trying to like amend their bookings. Obviously, nobody's able to fly. There's so many restrictions in place. So yeah, it's been a bit manic actually in the airline industry. Whereas the beauty side of things not been doing much because of the lockdown. How about you, Alex?
It's been the total opposite. I've noticed as far as like construction goes. Like at the minute, we're on like a site, over towards West Wales, and it's not stopped at all. You've got people coming in, you've got all kinds of tradesmen there. It's full most days. Social distancing and whatever. You do as much as you can, but there's money coming in and out all the time. And as far as piano went, when I was teaching, I had to give that up because I've noticed like me and Halima are kind of like, well, you said it, it's 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, but as far as like the way we were doing things it's even further apart, because she had to pick up an extra, well, I say she, Halima, sorry, I didn't mean to,
That's okay.
but you had to pick up an extra like line of business to try and generate more income, but I had to give an extra one that I had to do up so I could maintain, a steady stream, because I was only teaching part-time, and I gave that up so I could carry on working on the site, private jobs we had. And if you're doing sort of 2 at once, you can't really keep it up. It was kind of making the choice, one or the other. So with piano, there were still, children who wanted to come in and learn, but it was because I was only there, part-time, I had to make a choice. So that's what I had to do. But there was still a lot of children that wanted to come in and learn the piano. And you find that because I think they were getting a little bit bored over lockdown. I don't know how many of you here found yourself wanting to do things that you never would have thought of doing. I don't know, playing the piano or guitar or singing or art or whatever, but doing other little bits and pieces like that. So I think that's where sort of the arts, I know there was a lot of problems on the news. You say, the arts losing a lot of money, but I think there are a lot of people who after lockdown will want to come in and do it again. So I don't think there'll be much of an issue as far as that goes.
And do you miss teaching piano? Like, as far as you had to leave it because of practicality, like,
honestly,
how do you feel about
it? Mate, I miss it so much. I didn't think I'd enjoy teaching at all. And I thought, kids, I don't want to know. I'm not interested. But as soon as you start teaching and they say, where's middle C and where's this letter, this, no, blah, blah. It's brilliant, because I was playing for, I think it was 17 years, and then I started teaching. So I was, I already knew my way around the piano and whatever. But it was so brilliant to like watch children learn how you used to learn, and then you were teaching the way you used to be taught, sort of thing. I really, really miss it. I wish I could go back and do that full time.
What got you into teaching piano in the first place? Like, why did you? Because 17 years is a long time. Why didn't you start earlier?
Do you know what? Right, the truth is, I was working. I was working with my father, and I wanted to. Oh gosh, just knock something over. Sorry. I wanted to change my job more or less as soon as I started it. Like, I wasn't really enjoying it. I thought, I want to try and do something different. And I was with my teacher, I was still learning, and I was with my teacher, said, oh, if you get any jobs, right, let me know, and I will 100%, I'll do anything, I'll hoover, I'll whatever you want to do. And then about a year and a half later, he said, look, there's a space that's come up now teaching. Do we want to come and teach? And I said, yes, straight away, yes. But I would have done it sooner had I given the chance, had I been given the chance rather. But no, it was a quick year, but it was a good year.
Yeah.
Okay. So Halima, you pretty much got started during lockdown, and obviously you're still going. Gosh, I have so many questions. But first is, what is your strategy and how did you grow your consumer base?
With my beauty business, I guess my main platform was Instagram. I tried to use like Facebook as well, but to be honest, I don't use Facebook that much. So that is something I need to kind of work on, especially if I'm going to be carrying this, towards the future. So I'd say like Instagram is my main, yeah.
Okay. And what were your fears in starting at uncertain times, and how did you combat this? Because obviously you started during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was really nerve-wracking because, like, first of all, like with whether I would have the time, because I would have to give up, like working full-time job, you don't have much time in anyways. So it was me having to sacrifice time that I'd be studying basically to generate this income, just in case I did lose my job. So it's been really difficult. Obviously, during the lockdowns, I've not been able to do that. But I'm grateful to have, to still be in that full-time job. But yeah. Hold on. What was the question?
No, I think you did.
Yeah, you did. You answered it.
You answered the question.
Okay, good. Okay, I didn't know if I did. Okay.
Did you actually, like, just going back to what she asked, like, did you have any like concerns? Because obviously, like she said, you launched during the like lockdown and stuff. Were you scared about anything? Because obviously it is a contact.
Oh yeah, cool. So obviously the main concern was people, whether they would be using my services, especially during these times, because I work mobile, so go into people's houses, whether they feel comfortable. So that's been my biggest concern, but hopefully things will just start getting better now, and yeah, restrictions will ease so I can work a bit more and start building this little baby up.
Did you find, like, when you were starting your business, did you find like there was a certain point in time where you were like started to realize people didn't really care anymore about the restrictions, and they were like, do you know what, because I know a girls part, they enjoy like doing their hair, they do, I know a lot of girls, it's what it's what they do, but they get their nails done. And did you find like they got to a point where they were like, do you know what, I just want to go and get it done for me, sort of thing, and they just stopped caring about, like, not stop caring, but like they stopped like being so cautious just for the sake of doing something for them and having something to do? Like, did you find that?
Yeah, definitely. Like from the first lockdown, not many people messaged, whereas the last few I have been receiving a lot of constant messages, will you come and do it, blah blah blah. But because it's not my only form of income, I've not been obviously entertaining that, so I've just been turning people away. But yeah, I have seen a massive increase like in the number of messages I've been getting from people.
And how would you usually like do the eyelashes? Would you go to somebody's house or would they come to you?
Yeah, I'd go to their house and do it. So traveling a lot.
Where's the furthest you had to go to do an eyelashes?
An eyelash.
Just the one.
Neckley or Port Talbot, I'd say.
So that's, say, about how many miles would that be? I mean, it's business, so like it wouldn't.
11, 12, 15 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. It's a bit of a trek, but
yeah, it is, but it's worth it. I enjoy it. It's something that I love, so I don't mind putting the time and effort into it. So
yeah. Do you like lash lifts, lash extensions, like the whole?
I don't do lash lifts. You're actually the second person to ask, but today, no, not lash lifts. Just extensions, but I'm thinking maybe that's something I can certainly add on. It seems like a lot of people are in, like, they like that natural look. So yeah,
natural, more natural. I got that done once. It was actually scary. Like, it was a scary experience because obviously you have to lay down and it's like they just like stick your eyelashes up and it's so scary because you feel like, are they gonna rip them off? But then it's like,
I know. It's always good at the end.
yeah.
Fun fact, right? I've been told I got beautiful eyelashes, so I don't think you need to touch mine anymore.
Always do. I'm jealous of you guys.
Actually true, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Honestly, like Halima, you know how short my non-existent eyelashes are. It's just so I would never get eyelash lifted because like, what's the point? Like,
Same, I wouldn't either. That's why I haven't done it because I always say. But no, you do have lovely lashes. I can't wait to do
well, you're
extensions
saying that because you do my lashes, so you have to.
Saying that because she's on your podcast, Joy, okay, and she's got to be nice.
I can't wait to do them next.
Oh, thank you. Can't wait to have you over again. But Alex, I see you have drums in the background. Does that mean you also play the drums?
No, it doesn't. This room that you are watching me in now, this was done out by my sister. There's a piano back there. There's drums there. There's about 2 or 3 guitars there. I've got a ukulele there. I've got an acoustic guitar over there. And I've got a bed up there as well. Not for me, not for her, just for the sake of decoration.
So you guys are a musical family.
Play us something on the piano.
I can't do that, I'm afraid, because I think the last time I actually played was my last lesson. I lie. The last time I played was Christmas Eve, right? And I did a TikTok where I played the introduction to Michael Jackson's, not Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, né? Who's Loving You? But I've forgotten it all because I did it by memory and I played it for about 3 days straight. And do you know how many views I got on that? I only got 600 views, right? My friend did a TikTok where he was just stood there waving around his car, just reacting to some other TikTok. He had 1,000. So it was from that day, right? I thought I'm not going to play anymore until I can get better and I commit more time to it. So you're not going to hear me before you ask. No chance before I can get better and better on TikTok.
On TikTok. So you measure the level of your skill on TikTok.
On TikTok.
I can't even.
Halima's getting big on Instagram, right? I'm going to get big on TikTok. That's just how it works, right? That's the current economy.
How it works. But okay, cool. Fine, fair. But just to plug Halima really quickly, like you guys can find her on Instagram at Lashes by Nova. Just plugging my eyelash take there. Anyway. But Alex, you mentioned that you really didn't want to like stop teaching. Like what? And there were lots of people who were obviously coming to you, but why did you have to? Like, what drove you to make that decision?
It was like opportunity cost. Like it was either I carry on teaching and work, 2 or 3 days a week and maybe build up to 5 over a course of like 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 years, 5 days over a course of that time and lose, goodness knows how much money, or carry on painting, with my father's business and, have that secure 5 days with your income and the guaranteed weekend off, working 8:30 till 4:30, 9 till 5, whatever the time would be. It was, and that's what it was. It was just a case of saying, right, well, I've got to do this now because I know it's certain. And, the way things went as far as, jobs were going and people were unemployed and, people weren't working or on furlough or blah, blah, blah. I just thought, well, I've got to do it. As sad as it was. And it was a hard conversation I had with my boss, to be fair. I didn't want to go in and tell her, but I did. And it's just one of the things that had to be done.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So what advice would you give to those who were in your position had to like temporarily stop what they were doing?
That's a hard one. Do you know what? I'm not the sort of person, right? I feel like I should be giving advice to anyone. But if I have to, I'd say, obviously you want to try and do the things that you love doing. That's a given. Everybody wants to do that. But I think you have to use quite a lot of common sense when it comes to like earning money and sustaining yourself, because it's very easy to, pick what you love doing and say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or go off to, university and study something and think, oh, I'll just do it for the sake of doing it. And then all of a sudden you'll end up in a debt and you'll think, okay, maybe I could have spent my time more wisely. So it's a kind of about time management as well, rather than, just doing something for the sake of doing it. You got to think, well, what's the most beneficial thing for me to do?
Yeah.
Even if you don't enjoy it, you've still got to say, right, well, I've got to do it because I know it's the right thing to do.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Can I just say, like, can I hone in on what you just said? Because I think that's really important. Because I think a lot of people have kind of like glamorized entrepreneurship or work like that. It's something you have to be passionate about, like if blah blah blah. But the reality is, guys, you have to eat, you have to live in all of this stuff.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, I love the fact that
It's not.
wanted to raise that.
It's, I'm not saying, it won't happen for you. If you love to, because I keep thinking about, do any of you know the brand Gymshark? You must know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that guy, he's like 29, 30 years old, and he's already made like 300 million off his, I don't know what the figure is exactly, but he is raked it in. He is loving life. And it was, obviously it's something he was passionate about. He loved the gym, but,
Yeah.
I don't want to try and sound a bit like a Debbie Downer, but it's so rare for that kind of thing to happen so early on.
Yeah.
You've got to, if you want that to happen, it's, it comes later on down the line. You've got to sacrifice a lot. You've got to put a lot on the line. You've got to take a lot of risks. And a lot of the time it doesn't happen. You've got to remember that as well. Like as nice as it is to dream and have all, and sometimes it don't happen, and you've got to remember that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that my sister said to me, like along this topic, is that like, because I had a little day where I was like, I don't want to do law, I don't want to apply for law firms, I want to do this, I just wanted to be on TV, blah blah blah. And she was like to me, Joy, like there's importance in having a job that will fund your dream, right? Like
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because if you have something, and the thing is, you gain so much more from like you gain a lot from, what can I call it? I don't know what to call it, like normal employment. What is it called? Like when you work like in a company.
Yeah, like a standard job, 9 to 5, whatever it is.
You learn a lot of skills. You learn a lot of like how to manage money, how to manage time, how to treat your co-parts, how to lead a team, how to like all of these different skills that you actually need to set up a business that I think people sometimes take for granted. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're off on a tangent.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right though. Like I do agree with that. Like it's not, you wanted to say, oh, I want to be on TV. It's not a case of you're not going to be ever on TV. It's not like you got to give that up. But you've got to do a job to fund that, or you've got to try and find ways to get it. If you don't do it, straight away, you got to do it via a different route.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
And Halima, what would you say to people who have right now an idea like you did, but are waiting to start when things open up again?
I would just say practice, like the things that I did during lockdown. Was just online courses just to take up some of my time. There's always different skills that you can learn, and thankfully there's a lot of things you can learn from online as well. Just keep practicing and just stay positive, really, because it's not going to be like this forever. Things will open up, so just prepare yourself.
Yeah, things are opening up soon.
Yeah,
already seen in some,
I'm so excited.
People setting up their shops.
I think hairdressers have already opened.
Yeah, exactly. Like just use the time. Like social media is such a big platform, like such a good platform to use to like build up your audience. So when you do, when you can finally open up, you've got people lined up ready.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah.
Just for a different perspective, Alex, if you could have a do-over, what would you do differently?
Gosh, what do you mean do-over? Elaborate on do-over, please.
If you could do things differently, would you change anything you've done?
Over lockdown?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants to say, yeah, I do this or I do that, or I wouldn't give up teaching, but would I? That's a horrible question. I wish you haven't asked me that, because the truth of it is, I probably would.
Do you have any regrets, or do you
giving up teaching? That was a huge regret. I would not have done that. But the truth is, if I was in the same position as I was, then I know I wouldn't have wanted to, but I would have had to. I do regret it, and obviously I would have done that different. But like I said before, you got to do what you got to do, even if it sucks.
Yeah, fair enough. Same question for you, Halima. What would you do differently, knowing what you know now?
I think maybe don't start a business during the virus, but but no, I don't think I'd change anything really. Just I just wish I could have done more, but I think everybody's in the same kind of position right now. Everyone's lives are just on hold, so yeah, I just wish it wasn't, but I wouldn't change anything. I think I'm kind of blessed with the way things have gone, and yeah.
Are you both excited then for like the lockdown to be lifted?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
excited. Oh my god.
Can't wait to go shopping, honestly. I'm kind of tired of online shopping, on looking at things online.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's so true. All the shops, like the high street is going now. Like I want to jump on that before it like completely disappears and I've got to go on ASOS for the rest of my life. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that.
I hate online shopping personally.
It's awful. And the worst thing about online shopping is sending it back, because guarantee I'll buy the wrong size and then I'll just be stuck with it because I can never be bothered to send it back. And I'm just stuck with the top I don't want.
Even when the lockdown was lifted at one point in summer, even when you went into a store and you wanted to like try something on, you weren't.
Oh my gosh, what a palaver. Try it on, and then they got to hose it down and put it in isolation for 3 days. That top right that I tried on got more attention than I did for a good while. Honestly, it's terrible.
And so do either of you have any advice to young people right now who are looking for a job? Because obviously only non-essential shops, or I mean, only essential shops are open. So there's only a limited amount of jobs that can be done. Like, you guys have any advice for like people looking for jobs right now?
Do you know one thing that I found out the other day, like on LinkedIn, there's like different courses that you can do, which is quite interesting, that can probably, it's supposed to like improve your employability. LinkedIn is a really good place to look for jobs, but I think if you're thinking of, you know, creating your own business, just do it. Anything is better, just to give it a go and see how it goes, rather than not try it and not see the fruits of that. So
yeah, I'll definitely agree with that, because my sister has actually started 2 jobs in lockdown, and from March I saw it when she began, and obviously she wasn't getting that much business. Like one of them is like a seafood thing, and the other one is nails. She's been doing nails for a while though, because we both used to work at ASOS and she was doing it since then. And it's only now, surprisingly, that I think a lot of people are at home, and like you said, they're seeing her thing on social media, and now everyone's hitting her up like, and she lives alone. So, yeah, she doesn't have to isolate with anyone. So she's been having customers come to her house to do nails and whatever, because it's just her, and she gets tested regularly. So I would definitely agree with that. If you can do it the right way, I would say to anyone who's trying to do it, to do it, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd love to have like a home base and be more, rather than being mobile, but it's a bit more difficult for me, I think.
Yeah.
But well done to her.
Yeah, I don't even think she listens to this, but well done to her too. Huh?
Plug her, shout her out.
She lives in Luton, like.
Well.
I rate that.
That's so cute.
As far as I don't know if I would give advice. I don't feel like I'm in any position to. But I'm gonna give it anyway, because that's why I'm here. You know, that's why you asked me on. But I think it's more or less what Halima said. Like, give it a go. I know it's so easy to say, oh, just do it, give it a go. But it's you don't know what could happen. You really don't know, and you don't know who could find you. I'm quite old school, to be honest with you. I'm not on LinkedIn. I'm not on. Name me some sites that you find jobs on. I don't know any.
Indeed these days.
Indeed, all of that. I'm not on any of that. I am old school. If it was me, right, I'd much rather walk in and speak to the owner or the manager or anything, and I'd rather do it that way. That's just the way I prefer to do it. But I think it's a case as well, just be bold and go out and do what you want to do. If you're not doing anything, of course. I know I said before, be sensible, but if you've got nothing to do, if you're looking for a job, just go out and have a look. Apply to as many as you can. Try and get as many links. Links are important, I think. Links are important. Try and meet people, talk to people, get links, get connections, do that. And if you don't get it, then you know somebody who might know somebody,
That's so true. I think just like jumping off what both of you just said, first of all, in terms of like investing in yourself and taking up those little courses, even though it seems like, oh my gosh, whatever, but you do learn things, right, Halima? Like, look at where you are now, from just like applying yourself and challenging yourself as well. And then also, like what you said, Alex, networking is really, really important. I think like most of my jobs, I think literally the job that I have now is the only job I've ever applied for. Like all of my jobs as a PA, whatever, I just walked up to the person, hey, can I work for you? It wasn't like immediate, like, yes, yeah, come work for me. But it was like, okay, cool, like let's get to know each other. Then yeah, I got my job, like from just having a conversation with someone. So I really think like, don't underestimate the power of relationships, the power of networking, and just the power of community, man, because like we need each other. But anyway, yay. Do you guys have anything to say?
We need each other. Good.
Huh? What?
No, it's just a good little way to end. Just we need each other, guys. Just peace and love.
Well, family. But yeah, Kofi and Sonia, do you guys have any like add-ons to like leave the people with or whatever, like based on what they said?
Well, kind of the same thing we've been saying. Just take a chance, you know what I mean? More time, you have nothing to lose, because if it fails, you're in the same position that you were already in before you started. That's just how I like to think about it. So,
no, he's got a point. That's bang on. That is bang on.
You know what I'm saying?
So many factors in life as well. He's bang on.
Do it.
I feel like if you have the talent, or you have like, if you can play an instrument, then yeah, like why are you not going around teaching little kids how to play an instrument? Or if you do know how to do nails, then why are you going to waste that and not earn money from it, or do lashes? Because even on YouTube, you could look at tutorials and then just learn and then earn easy money like that.
I think a lot of the time is about putting yourself out there. That's scary for everyone. So that's what ends up crippling us, and you just procrastinate. But once you get over that and worrying about what other people are going to say about it or think about it, then I think it's very doable.
One thing I want to say is just simply don't be afraid to fail. If you fail, it don't matter. Just go out and do it again. Try again. Try something else. Simple as that. Because a lot of people I've noticed are so afraid to go out and do something just in case it doesn't work, or just in case they look a little bit dull or stupid or whatever. But who cares? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, okay, no problem. I'll go and try something else. I'll go and try something a bit different. Just do it.
Can I ask you guys a question, actually? Do you think, because based on what all of you guys are saying, it's kind of like pointing to the fact that people are afraid of failing. Where do you think that came from? Is it in school, like where we were punished for failing class and you had to be like...
I think it's parents as well.
I don't know. I think it could be a bit of, I'm not saying my parents didn't want me, you know, they're supportive parents. I think a lot of it is like peers as well. Like I've noticed, I'm not going to say I'm like some, you know it all or whatever, but I don't mind looking a bit, I wouldn't say stupid, but I don't mind failing kind of thing in front of my other friends. Like if I do something, or if I, you know that like awkward situation where you think you know somebody, and you think, oh, hello, and it's not the person you thought it was. And then all your friends will be like, oh, ha, 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 sort of thing, and they'll laugh at you. Like a lot of my friends, as trivial as that sounds, they'll be afraid to do that because they'll be afraid to sound stupid, even though they might well have known that person and they, you know, but they weren't sure. And I know it's kind of a weak link, but like a lot of people, like it stems from that kind of thing. Like they're too afraid to, how can I say it? They're too afraid to maybe embarrass themselves instead of trying to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No,
does anybody know what I'm trying to say? If you're listening and you know what I'm trying to say, let me know, please.
No, I definitely agree with that, because it's kind of like, you can't say you failed if you never tried. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
I didn't fail because I never did it. And that's why I think a lot of people as well, just that mentality. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And more often than not, like the person who succeeded didn't actually fail, didn't actually succeed first time. It was failure after failure after failure, and then something clicked, or the chemistry or whatever it was worked, and then all of a sudden he's winning or she's winning.
Yeah, that's true. You know, my brother started a company a couple of years ago, actually, and he always says like, I'm an overnight success, like in the making. Because I think, and that's the thing, right? People like glamorize this whole thing of like, work hard, it's gonna work the first time, woohoo. But actually, like those people who've had an overnight success, like you have no idea how many failures they've encountered. Like suddenly, yes, you see the fruit, but you don't know how far the root goes. And I love this quote that from Cinderella story. I always say it to myself, so I kind of get myself off. Listen, it's actually really good.
I love that film.
It's when the guitar fell off the wall and it says,
it was the right thing.
yes, don't allow the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Yes,
I love that film.
Exactly. That is a good quote. I mean, come on, guys.
The Cinderella story.
Yes, from a Cinderella.
I'll bring it back down to earth. I'm gonna bring it Muhammad Ali said, you don't fail if you get knocked down, you fail if you stay down. So just to move away from Cinderella, I'll bring a bit of Muhammad Ali in as well.
Okay, but what's wrong with Cinderella? Like, it was a good
film.
Nothing at all, but
Film first, then decide is this a good film or not.
Is that the one with Lizzie McGuire in it?
Yeah.
I have seen it.
See, it was a good film, but at the same time, it does. Okay, no, whatever. We just move. But guys, no, thank you. This has been such a fun time. You guys had fun.
it's been good. I've enjoyed this. I told you before, I do a couple of podcasts. It's good to be back doing podcasts. It's good to be talking to people more than anything, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What podcast do you do?
I'm so glad you asked. Oh my gosh, I was waiting for you to ask. No. I got 2 podcasts. I told you about them before, but for the benefit of the listeners, I got 2. I got one that's to do with football. If anybody's interested in football, it's called Send Him Off. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, all the rest of that good stuff that you listen to your Spotify or podcasts on, wherever it is. And I've got a second one called In My Opinion, and that's just if you fancy a good laugh, to be honest with you. We just want to cheer you up. We're just 3 idiots that just want to cheer you up, that's all. Simple as that.
Cool. And what about Halima?
Yeah, that's it.
People find you?
Yeah, it's been really nice. I've enjoyed myself. It's kind of crazy to hear the amount of numbers of people that have lost their jobs during this coronavirus. That's been a bit crazy. I didn't even know that was the numbers, but yeah, apart from that, everything's been interesting.
And how about where people can find you?
Oh, where they can find me? Instagram. Instagram at Lashinova, and Facebook. I do need my followers to increase on there, but yeah, Instagram.
Cool.
Okay, if we're plugging Instagrams, go and follow mine too, just because you got to do it.
I'll put all this in the description.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier for people. But yeah, guys, thank you again so much for joining us today. It was a fun one. I guess it was nice when we got chatting as well, made it a bit more comfortable. But yeah, if you heard this and you'd like to start a business like they did, but don't know where to start, there are organizations in Wales that can help you in terms of giving you advice or funding, whatever it may be. So the first one is Big Ideas Wales. If you're under 25, you can definitely benefit from them. Then there's also the Princess Trust as well. And yeah.
Yeah, and if you're looking for any catering jobs, visit our website, caentr.org/catering jobs for work in and around Wales. Otherwise, you can check out Work Wales and other sites like that. But most importantly, always remember to network.
Networking is so important. You'll be able to get access to jobs that are not advertised yet and can skip the gruesome application process.
But that and more on our upcoming episodes, so stay tuned. We have also plugged all our sites and organizations that we've just named here, as well as our guest speakers. My gosh, you look so bored. Alex, wake up.
I'm not bored. This is my comfort position. I was in my comfort position.
Man, he wants to go home, guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as well as
no, I'm good.
Okay. As long as they're as well as their social media handles as well in the description below. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Podcast rated #1 is the 411.
Till next time. Bye.
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 Bye.